Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another day of 7th grade math. This is Mr. Gomez, your favorite teacher in the whole world, and today we're going to keep reviewing for the upcoming test. And in this review, we got sales tax and budgets, okay? So just a little bit of a background on this, and you can check the card right here for a playlist. Every time we have a percent, a rule of thumb is to convert that percent into a decimal and then multiply, okay? That's a rule of thumb. Convert percent to decimal, multiply. How do I convert percent to decimal? Easy. Take the decimal point and move it 2 places to the left. Not to the edge, but only 2 places to the left. And if there's any empty spots, just fill them in with 0. So, in this case, we have about, I don't know if it was 15, 17 questions, something like that. We're going to do as much as we can. And if you have any questions, you can leave the questions down in the comment, and then I can respond to y'all as well. And if you haven't, you can go ahead and support this channel. Link down in the description. Go ahead and click subscribe and thumbs up and all that good stuff. Let's see. Number 1, Cassie wants to buy a pair of shoes for $26.50 and a shirt for $9.50. If the sales tax is 8.25%, what will be the amount of sales tax in Cassie's purchases? Okay, so before we start doing anything, just think about the questions. What are they asking for? In this case, they're looking for the sales tax. So the sales tax is always, or most of the time, going to be way less than the total amount. Now, things to consider. We have, they're buying a pair of shoes, that amount, and that's a keyword right there, a shirt for $9.50. And means to add, right? So since we are only looking for the sales tax, look at the answer choices. If you see anything bigger than that number, get it out of the way. In this case, I don't have anything like that. So the first thing to know is to find the subtotal. Just like when you go to the store and you buy multiple things, you have a list of items, then you have the subtotal. That's the addition of everything that you bought. And then you have sales tax. That's the amount for the taxes only. And then you have the total. So what they do with the total, they add the subtotal and the taxes. That's how this works. In this case, we're only looking for the tax line, okay? So in order to find the total first, I gotta combine this and this. 2650 and 950. Hold on. $26.50 plus $9.50. That's 27 and 9, that's $36. $36. Now, that's the subtotal. I need to find the taxes. Now, to find the taxes, I'm going to take this percent and convert to decimal. 8.25. How do I convert again? 1, 2. I have an empty spot, fill it with 0. So now, this is going to be 0.0825. And I multiply that with my subtotal times 36. When I multiply 36 times 0.0825, I get 2.97. So this is the amount for my taxes, which is B. Any questions so far? Please leave them down in the comment below. And let's go ahead and move on to number 2. Number 2. Sarah wants to buy a necklace. The necklace has a price list of $41 and the sales tax is 6%. What will be the cost of the necklace after the taxes is added, and round the answer to the nearest cent? So something to consider. Every time we're talking about money, regardless of what the answer is, you're going to have 2 places after the decimal. Okay? Remember, we're talking about pennies all the way down to pennies, right? So if you have 51 cents, that's 0.51. If you have $3.72, that'll be 3.72. If you have $3 even, that'll be 3.00. We're talking about money. Don't forget about that. Now, in this case, we have to find the new total price. So if you can see, that that is my original amount and I have to add taxes, I can immediately tell that my total is going to be more than the original. So look at the answer choices and see if there's anything that is less than the 41. And in this case, I have B and C. So I'm left with two choices. So once we have established that my price has to be more because I now have to add the taxes, I can eliminate some answer choices. So let's see. In this case, when I need to add the taxes, there's two things that you can do. First of all, always convert the percent to decimal. That's moving 1, 2, okay? And this is gonna be kind of like percent increase, and you can check that video right here. Percent increase, you convert percent to decimal, add 1, and then multiply by the original. That's the fastest way, okay? Convert percent to decimal, add 1 to that, and then multiply by the original. So basically, all we have to do is multiply 41 times 1.06, and that's gonna give me my answer. Or you can do 41 times 0.06, then whatever you get added back to the 41. Remember that 41 is the subtotal. So when I multiply 41 times 0.06, I get 2.46. Look, that was one of my answer choices right here. But this is the tax only. And to find the total, you have to add this back to 41, which is going to be 43.46, which is A. But if you go this route, convert percent to decimal, add 1 to that, and then multiply by the original, you will go straight to the answer. Okay? Two ways to do it. Both ways take you to the same place. Look, if you do it this way, again, this is the tax only, and you're looking for the, after the tax is added. That's a key where you have to add it back to something. Remember, that's the subtotal. $41 is the subtotal. Number 3, Juan's purchases before tax was added total $46. The total including the tax was 48.76. What was the tax rate? So before the taxes were added, so basically the 46, see, this is what I was telling you. Even if it's a whole number, you gotta add the 2 zeros because we're talking about money. This is right here, this is the subtotal. And then we have taxes. So you add taxes, and then you get the total. In this case is 48.76. We need to find this, okay? Okay, so now that we have established that we're looking for the taxes, you can do it two different ways. You can either work it backwards, or you can try these percentages and multiply them by the subtotal, and whatever gives you the 48.76, that will work. But you will have to hopefully guess at the same time which one is it. Now, it did not go up too much, so I'm thinking it's going to be A. So if I work it backwards, I'm going to multiply 46.0276. You get $1.27. $1.27. So if you add that to the 46, it's not going to give you the 48.76. So you got to work the next one. So this one, convert to decimal. 46 times 0.057. When you multiply that, you get $2.63, which is not, when you add that back to 46, is not gonna give you that. So you gotta try this one now. 46 times 0.06. 46 times $2.76. When you add it back to the 48, you get, to the 46, you get that answer. So the answer is C. Now this one takes you a little bit longer, but it works. You can always work things backwards. Now, the way to find the sales tax in this one, the tax rate, is a little bit different. We're gonna find the percent increase. Okay? So For this one, the other way is to use the formula that we learned about percent increase. So, percent change is going to be big number minus small number divided by the original. And then at the end, you can just move the decimal 2 places to the right. That's the second way to do this, okay? So the big number is 4876 minus the small number, 46, divided by the original, which was this one. That's the original. And let's see what we get. 4876 minus 46, you get $2.76 divided by the original, and you get 0.06. Now convert that to percent, 1, 2, and you get 6%, which is the same answer. Whatever way works good. So make sure you pick the one that works best for you. If you want to work it backwards like we did on the red, you can do that. Or if you remember the formula, this formula is not given to you on your formula sheet, so you will have to memorize it and do it like that as well. If there's any questions, please leave them down in the comment. Let's move on. Number 4. Reggie makes $12,000 a year and he pays 15% of his income tax. How much money does Reggie have after he has paid his income taxes? So again, this is the tax. We're just looking for the taxes, how much he pays in taxes, and then we're going to take that away from the original, okay? So this is kind of like percent decrease, but we're just going to do something real quick. First of all, 15%, convert to decimal. That's the first step. Step 2, multiply by the original. 12,000 times 0.15, you get 1,800. And if you notice, that is going to be one of your answer choices, right? A. But this is the tax only. They're asking how much money he has left after he paid his taxes. So that means they're going to have to subtract. So 12,000, minus 1,800, and you get 10,200, which is C. Now, if you added, you would have get this one. We're not looking to add it because we're going to have to pay those taxes. So that's money that's going away from you. And then this one doesn't make sense. This is just like adding the 0.15 at the end. Doesn't make sense. Okay? Again, do not pick this just because that's what you got after you multiply. That's just the sales tax. And you're looking for how much money he had left afterwards. Okay? Questions, anybody? All right, questions, please leave them down in the comments. If you want to support the channel, again, link this in the description. And check out my other channel, MTB Alex, where I do DIY stuff and mountain bike stuff. Okay, number 5. Maria's monthly income is $2,000. The table displays the different categories that Maria's monthly budget and the amount of money she spends in each category. Okay? So this is going to be like a part over total thing. We're going to compare them like when we talked about the circle graphs and all that. When we talk about budgets, this is what it is. It says, which statement is not supported by the information on the table? So we're going to have to do a lot of trial and error with each one of these answer choices and then compare them to what we know on the table. So what I would like to do first is convert everything to percent, okay? What percent of the 2,000, remember this is the total, what percent of the 2,000 is this? These are going to be the part. So we're going to do part over total many times, okay? So for instance, let's look at $900. That's going to be a little bit less than half, so it'll be 40-something%. The way you do that, if you're talking about rent, all you gotta do is this divided by 2,000. 900 divided by 2,000. The 900 goes inside, and you get 0.45, which is 45%. Okay. Now let's look at this. More than half of Maria's monthly income is spent in rent. 45%. Is that more than half? I don't think so. That's less than half. Then Maria puts 15%. Wait, actually, you don't have to find everything right here as a percent. Just look at what they're asking and then compare that. Maria puts 15% of her monthly income into savings. So let's look at savings right here. Again, divide that by 2,000. 300. 300 divided by 2,000. You get 0.15. 0.15, which is 15%. Actually, let's look at this. It says, which one is not supported by the information on the table? So we are actually looking for the wrong answer, which I think we already found it. I think it's going to be A, unless we have something different. So yes, make sure you pay attention. She does put in 15%, so this is actually a true statement. A quarter of the income is spent in utilities. Utilities, a quarter is about divided by 4, okay? More than a quarter goes into utilities. Utilities, cable, and groceries. Utilities, cable, and groceries. So first of all, I gotta combine those three together. 320 plus 80, that's 400, plus 120, that is gonna be 520, over 2,000. Or you can just divide 2,000 divided by 4, which is 500. 500, a quarter is 500 right here. So is this more than 500? Yes, and I'm looking for the wrong answer. It has to be A. And you can compare number 14, D, 14% goes to phone and other expenses. It should be it. So number 6, it says, what is an example of a variable expense? Okay, we talked about this when we talked about budgets. We have two types of expenses. One is variable and the other one is fixed. Remember, fixed doesn't change. It's always going to be the same amount every month. And a variable changes all the time. So an example of a variable, of a fixed expense can be like a mortgage payment, a car payment, something that is always going to be the same amount. Something that is going to be variable is going to be, I don't know, something that is going to change. So in this case, if I look at number 6, I'm looking for variable. I know variable means that changes. In this case, the car payment is always the same. And if I put in a budget, the same percent budget for emergency savings, which we usually do, that's also fixed. The clothing though, you might not buy clothes all the months, so that might change. And the washer rental fee, if you're gonna rent a washer to wash your clothes, they're gonna charge you the same amount all the time. So the only answer is gonna be C. Okay, that was an easy one. Let's see, number 7. The table represents the Martin family's budgets. Their net monthly income is $3,900. How much does the Martin family put in savings in a year? Okay, so make sure whenever you are reading this, that you're reading this truly, the whole thing, because we have two different types of units. In this case, they give us their monthly income, but they're asking savings in a year. So we have months and years. And this is just gonna be a simple part over total. The total is gonna be my monthly, in this case, yearly income. But the thing is, they give me 1 month, not the whole year. So how can I find the amount that they're gonna make a year? Easy. All you have to do is multiply this times 12, because a year has 12 months. And when I multiply 3,900 times 12, I get $46,800. And now this is gonna be my total. Okay, that's gonna be my total. And my part is gonna be what they're asking for, in this case in savings, which is 10%. So all I really gotta do is move the decimal one place to the left. And the answer is gonna be D. And if you don't know what I just did, all you gotta do is convert percent to decimal and multiply by the original. So the original is 46,800 times 0.10, and when you multiply that, you get 4680. Now, you can do this a different way. So you can actually go ahead and take this amount, 3,900, multiply times the decimal of the percent. Remember, every time you have a decimal, you gotta convert to percent. And when you do that, you get $390. However, that's the amount for 1 month. And that's one of my answer choices. So if you did this step and you selected that answer, you got it wrong. So you got to make sure that you recognize that they have different units and go from there. Okay? Number 8, the table shows the Gillian net worth. Assets are shown in the positive numbers and liabilities are shown as negative numbers. Okay? Really quick on assets and liabilities. Assets is something that you already own that you don't make payments on. And liabilities is going to be something that you're making payments on. An example of an asset, it'll be my shirt. Okay? I'm wearing it. I'm not making payments on it. I already paid for it, so it's mine. I own it. And then a liability is going to be something like, it can be something big. If you paid out your house, you don't make any payments on it, that's going to be an asset. If you own a car, you're not making payments, that's going to be an asset. However, a liability is the opposite. If you're making payments on a car, that's going to be the amount that you owe on that car is going to be a liability. The amount you owe on a house is going to be a liability. Now, you can have a thing that can be an asset and liability. For example, if my house is $300,000, is worth $300,000, but I owe $200,000 on it. Okay, this is my net worth for that one is gonna be $100,000. So this is an asset and this is a liability. Okay. The asset is that and the liability is that. So the net worth is going to be all the positives minus all the negatives. That's how you calculate the net worth. So we have to find how much they owe in student loans if their net worth is that amount, $9,500. And the easy way to do that is to add everything together. However, I cannot add negatives. Well, I can, but I'm subtracting. So what I will do first, for all the positives, I'm going to add all the positives together. I'm going to add all the positives together. And then I'm going to add all the negatives together. And then we're going to go from there. So let's see. When I add all my positives, I have $87,900 plus $950 plus $10,300 plus $2,450 plus $5,000. Okay, so all of the right ones together, those are gonna be my assets. It's gonna be $106,600. Okay, now my liabilities, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I have $2,650 plus $1,200. When I add those two negative numbers, my liabilities is gonna be $3,850. Okay? Now to find the net worth from that, all I gotta do is subtract those two numbers. So if I subtract 106,600 minus 3,850, I get 102,750. Now, to find how much is in student loans, a student loan is going to be a liability, so it's going to be a negative number. All I have to do is subtract the net worth, which is given to me right there, 9,500. When I do that, I get $12,250, which is going to be B. Okay? So that's how you find the missing value. Now, if you put this number right here, and you combine and you add and subtract everything together, it will give you this number, the total net worth. That's how much they are worth as a person, okay? After all the current values and all that, after the liabilities and everything, if they were to sell everything, that's how much money they will get back free in their, not free, I mean on their hands. All right, so net worth. Now that we talked about that, what is net worth? Number 9. A, things that you own that have a positive value. Kind of. B, the difference between your assets and liability. This sounds more like it, right? This is C, debts that you owe. No. And then D, the amount of money that you earn. This has nothing to do with that. This is actually the definition for assets. This is the definition for net worth. So yes, my answer is B. And this is going to be the definition for liabilities. All right, making progress. Number 10. Monty made a list of his assets and liabilities. How many liabilities are on his list? Rent, is that an asset or a liability? He has to pay for that, right? So that's a liability. Car is paid for. Is that a liability or an asset? He doesn't have to make any payments on it. That's an asset. Money in a checking account. If you have money on a checking account or savings accounts, that's yours. No, you're not gonna make any payments on that. That's your money. So that's an asset. Take a TV that is paid for. You're not making any more payments on it. It's yours. So if you sell it, you make a profit. So that's an asset. Sailboat. You have a boat, but you're making payments on. You're making payment for that, so it's not yours yet until you pay it off. So this is a liability. And then it says a computer is paid for. You already own it. So if you sell it, all the money that you get is going to be profit. So this is a asset. So how many liabilities? I have 1, 2. So my answer is B. Again, everything that is paid for is already an asset. Okay? Any money that is on your checking or savings account is an asset. Number 11. Frankie keeps track of his net worth. Another net worth question, okay? We're still talking about net worth by making a table each month. In January, he had 8 months left on his lease. Pretty sure we're gonna need this information. He finished making car payments in 2009. So that means that the car is already paid off. He doesn't make any payments on it. If he was to sell it, he will make a profit. Therefore, it's an asset, right? Which of the following statement is true about Frankie's net worth? Okay? Which is true about Frankie's net worth? So this is one of the questions that we're going to have to compare every single one of the answers to whatever information we can get from the table. So, for instance, A, it says, Frankie had a positive net worth. Let's see. We know that positives is going to be this one. That's an asset. Any money that he has on his checking or savings account is going to be an asset. If he's making payments on something, credit card bills or whatever, that's going to be a liability. So the value of the furniture, they give you a value. It's not saying that he's still paying for the furniture. That's going to be an asset. And then the monthly rent and utilities, that's going to be a liability. Now, if I look back at this green highlighted section right there, it says that he has 8 more months to pay for lease. This is going to be only a monthly thing, $675 with 75 cents. If I need to know how much he actually gonna have to pay out for his lease, what do I have to do? This is 1 month, so I'm gonna have to multiply times 8, right? To get the total amount. So for the 8 months that he owes, it's gonna be 8 times 675 with 75 cents. When you multiply that, you get 5,406 with 0 cents. That's the actual amount that he owes in rent and utilities. Now, it's talking about January. He hasn't paid, he has not February yet. But if he's on a contract on the lease, he owes that money whether he lives there or not. Okay, because he has a contract. Now, everything else, we don't have to do anything about it. So all we have to do, this is going to be a liability. Let's go ahead. Does he have a positive net worth? I don't know. Let's find out. So I'm going to combine again all my positives, all my assets right there. And then I'm going to combine all my liabilities. So let's do the assets first. The assets is going to be 2850 plus 1,822 with 23 cents and $995. When I add those three, I get 3, I get 2, I get 7. My decimal goes right there. That's 14 and 2 is 16. Carry the 1. That's 16. And 10 is 26. Carry the 2. That's 5. $5,667 with 23 cents is going to be my assets. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with the liabilities. Liabilities, I have 5,406 plus the 600 is not the liability. It's actually this one right here. And 643 with 12 cents. So when I add that, I get $6,049 with 12 cents. Those are going to be my liabilities. So does he have a positive net worth? This is a negative, and this is the positive right here. Which one is bigger? Which one is more money? The red one, ignore the sign for now. This is a liability, and this is an asset. Is the 6,000 more than 5,000? Yes. So therefore, the net worth is going to be negative. Net worth is actually negative. So it's not A. Then it says Frankie has more assets than liability. We already said no. So that's not B. These are the assets, and this is the liabilities. Frankie's credit card balance were 400 less. He will have a positive net worth. Let's see. If we take away $400 right here, what do we get? $56.49. So he will have a positive liability? Yes. He will have a positive liability by about $18. Last one, it says Frankie's car were valued at $3,000. He will have a positive net worth. No. So the answer is in fact C. How do you find out? Well, we just change this number to 3,000, but I can already tell that if I add $115 to this, it's not gonna be as much as that one right there. Next one. Any questions? Please leave them down in the comments, and I'll be glad to help you. Number 12, Mr. Juarez opened a savings account with an initial deposit of $560 and will not make any additional deposits or withdrawals. The account earns 1% simple interest. What is the total amount that Mr. Juarez will have in his account at the end of 3 years? Now for this, we're going to have a formula, okay? And the formula is going to be given to you. This is a simple interest formula, And the formula says I equals PRT. The I stands for interest. The P stands for principal, which is the original amount. The lowercase, remember, is a lowercase r. That stands for the rate. That's the percent where you're going to convert that into a decimal. And the T stands for time in years. Okay? Time in years. If they give you months, if they give you 3 months, you're going to have to do 3 over 12. Okay? In this case, we're going to substitute the values in as we know. This formula is going to be given to you on your formula sheet. Okay? It's going to be right here at the bottom. Now, I, it says the initial deposit, that's going to be my I right here. That's going to be my I. And he will not make any deposits or withdrawals. The account earns 1% simple interest. That's going to be the rate. But remember, you got to convert that into a decimal. So 1% turned into a decimal. Fill it with 0.01. And the time is going to be 3 years. So we have all the information that we know. We just need to know how much is the total amount that he will have in the account at the end of 3 years. What I'm going to find right now with this formula is going to be the interest only. Okay, so pay attention. I'm going to substitute all the values. So interest equals P, in this case, is $560. Now, all of this, all they're doing right here is multiplying. We're just multiplying in any order. It doesn't matter in what order you multiply. The order of the multiplication doesn't affect the product. The rate is 1%, but we gotta use the decimal form. Times 0.01. And the times is already 3 years. So I'm gonna go ahead and multiply. I would like to multiply the two whole numbers first. 560 times 3 gives me 1680. And then I multiply that by 0.01, which is just moving the decimals 2 places to the left, and I get $16.80. I actually get 16.8 if I do the multiplication, but we're talking about money. Now that is going to be one of my answer choices in there. Not necessarily, never mind. Now this right here, this is the interest only. I need to find the new total amount. So to find the total amount, this formula is not given to you, but it's very simple. Total amount is going to be the interest plus the principal. We just found the interest right here. So all we gotta do now is add it back. So 1680 plus the principal, and you get D. If you haven't, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. All right, number 13. I'm gonna take my mask off because everybody left already. I have no students in class right now. So number 13 says, it's another one of simple interest. Says Nicole deposited $2,000 at 6% simple interest. How long will it be before she has $2,600 in her account? So on this one, we're going to use the formula, but we're going to have to work it backwards a little bit. And we're going to have, remember, the P is going to be the principal, which in this case is going to be the $2,000. And then we know the percent, the rate is going to be this right here. So this is, the principal is going to be $2,000. The rate is going to be 6% or 0.06. Remember, convert that to decimal. The time, how long, that's what we're looking for. I don't know that. And the interest, we know interest kind of, because I know how much he's going to have at the end, and I know how much he had at the beginning. So to find the gain right there, all I have to do is subtract the total amount minus the principal, which is going to be $2,600 minus the 2,000 that I started with, which gives me $600. So she earned $600 in interest. So that's gonna be my I. Okay, so you have to do a little bit of digging before you actually find the interest, and then we can work this backwards. So first of all, multiply these two. 2 times 6 is 12,000, and then move the decimal 2 places, or you can just go ahead and do the whole division all together. So you're gonna have 120 T equals 600. The last step, I have an equation, a variable with a constant, and then all I have to do is divide by 120 on both sides. So this cancels out, so T equals 5. 120 goes into 600 5 times, and you can just do T. Well, 600 divided by 120, and this goes 5 times. So the answer is this. That's how you work this one backwards. You're gonna have to use this formula. Again, that formula is given to you on your formula sheet. Number 14, we have another interest question. In this case, it's gonna be compound interest. This formula is also gonna be given to you, and the formula is A equals P parentheses 1 plus rate to the power of T. Okay, to the power of T. So we're gonna use that information. It says determine the compound interest in the following situation. Kiera places $1,000 in a savings account for 2 years, earning 4% compounded interest annually. How much interest will she have at the end of the 2 years? So all we gotta do is substitute the values in just like we did on the other one. So for A, it's gonna be the amount. Compound interest is gonna be that, and that's what we're looking for. P is my principal. In this case, it's gonna be $1,000. Parentheses, that means I'm gonna multiply by whatever's inside the parentheses. 1 plus the rate. Remember, convert to decimal. So 4%, it's gonna be 0.04 to the power of T. So that means square in this case. So first thing, we have a group, so we gotta take care of the parentheses. So when we add this, we get 1.04, and we gotta square this. That means 1.04 times 1.04. 1.04 times 1.04 gives you 1.0816. 1.0816. So this right here turns out to be 1.0816, and then I have to multiply by the 1,000 that I haven't done anything to it yet. And you can either multiply that, but since it's 1,000, you will do 1 times 1,000. You will get 0.0061801. And you're gonna move the decimal 4 places, so it'll be right there. $1,081.60. So A equals $1,081.60, which is $1,081.60 is going to be the total amount in her account. Now, to find out how much interest she got, all we have to do is subtract the initial amount, which is $1,000. When we subtract that, we get $81.60. She made $81.60 just by depositing her money into the savings accounts for 2 years. That's how you work this one backwards. Again, if you put this one right here, if you put in this number at the end, that's the total amount that she's gonna have in the bank account. If you wanna find the interest, subtract the initial amount. If you have any questions, make sure you put them on the comments below. If you haven't, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment and share. And don't forget to look at my other channel, MTV Alex, where I do mountain bike stuff and DIY stuff. Number 15. A car dealership offers 2 types of discount. Discount 1, you're gonna take 5% off the original price and receive a $3,500 rebate. or the discount to take 10% off the original price, and then receive also a $1,250 rebate. So there's two choices, car R and car S, different prices. Based on the information, which statement is true? So you will have to actually work all this out. Whatever is asking on the bottom, work that section at a time. So for instance, based on the information, which statement is true? The customer will pay $19,000, $324 for car S. So we gotta look our car S right here. So this one is, car S is a car built this year. So that's the discount. So a car for this year is gonna be this one right here, car this year. So let's see. If we take 10% off the sales price, we just have to multiply 22,860 times, convert to decimal, 0.1, it'll be 2286. Okay, you're gonna take that off plus $1,250. When you add that, you get $3,536 off the original price. So all you have to do now is subtract 22,860 minus $3,536. So 22,860 minus 3536, and you get $19,324. The customer will pay that for car S. Yes, that should be my answer. There's no need to move forward, although you can check the other ones and make sure that the other ones are also incorrect, because you're looking for the true statement, and we found out that statement A is actually true. So let's go ahead and try another one just for the sake of it. I'm gonna do it in a blue color. Let's try D, for instance. The customer will pay $23,107 for car R. Okay, car R is a car built last year, which we're gonna use this discount right there. Okay, so we're gonna take 5% off, and then also $3,500. So let's see. A car R is $25,340 times 0.05. When I multiply that, I get 25,340 times 0.05, get 1267. That's how much the 5% of the price is, plus the $3,500. That's gonna be 4767 off the original price. To find the final price after the discounts, all you have to do is subtract 25,340 minus 4767. When you do that, you get 2573, which is not what they have in here. So that's the way. Luckily for us, the first answer was the correct answer. Two more. Let's see. Number 16. Again, if you have any questions about this question, leave them down in the comments below. Number 16. A smartphone is on sale for $89.95 at Riverside Electronics. Gadgets and More has the same for $424 and is on sale for 35% off. Which store has a better deal, and how much less does the phone cost at the store? So I know that at Riverside Electronics, that's the final price. And the other store has that price minus 35% off. $124 minus 35% off. So all I gotta do is find the markdown. This is a markdown question. Again, step 1, convert percent to decimal. Step 2, subtract from 1. 1 minus, which is 0.65. Step 3, multiply by the original amount. So $124 times 0.65, you get $80.60. So which one is cheaper is gonna be at Gadgets and More. So which one has a better deal is gonna be Gadgets and More. By how much? All we gotta do is subtract 89.95 minus 80 with 60 cents. And when we do that, it's not gonna be $40, it's like $9.35, which is B. Again, when you have a markdown, convert to decimal, that's the step 1. Step 2, subtract from 1. Step 3, multiply by the original. The other way that you can do that is convert to decimal and multiply by the $124, and then whatever you get, subtract it from $124. It's an extra step. Whatever works for you will give you the same answer. And number 17, the last one. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Wants to buy 50-inch television. He made a table with the 4 best deals he found for the TV that he wants to purchase. Use the table to find the difference in cost between the deals, the best deals, and the worst deals. Store A, regular price $449.95, mailing rebate $25. So basically, to find the total price on this one, subtract, so you get $449.95 minus $25 that you get on the mail later on, and you get a deal for $424.95. Store A, $424.95. Store B, regular price $685. You take 15% off every full $75 you spend. Wow, that might be like a good deal. So every full $75 you spend. So to know how many 75 full dollars you spend on store B, we're gonna have to divide. So this is B. Let's see. 685 divided by 75 is gonna give us whatever the whole number is. 685 times 75, not times, divided. 685 divided by 75 gives you 9.13. So that means that you're gonna get 9 full $75. So 9 times 15, this 15 right here, gives you 135, I believe. 9 times 15, yes. So this is the amount that you're gonna take off the original price. So 685 minus 135 gives you $550 for store B after the discounts and everything. Store C, 517 with $75 off. Again, subtract that 517.75 minus $75 and you get $442 with 75 cents for store C. Should have done that a different color, but that's okay. Store D, $772.50. You get a $85 rebate on the mail and also $215 off. So store D, you get 772.50 minus 85, 772.5 minus 85, you get 687.5 or 50 cents minus $215 that you get off, minus 215, and you get $472 with 50 cents. 472 with 50 cents. So those are the final prices after all the discounts. Now it says, find the difference between the best deal and the worst deal. So my best deal is going to be, what's my best deal in this one? It's going to be store A. And the worst deal is going to be store B. Find the difference literally means to subtract. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. So let's see, 550 minus 424.95 you get $125 with 5 cents, which is A. That's what they're asking for us. I know it's a long process, but the steps are actually really easy. It'll take you a little bit to do it. It'll take you a few minutes to do so, but you will get the answer. The operations is just adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. There's nothing else, no equations, and mostly self-explanatory. That's it for this one, guys. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Make sure you subscribe to my other channel, MTV Alex. You can find me again on YouTube. If you want to support this channel, make sure you check the description below. You can find a link right there where you can do so. And share this with another 7th grader that might need this information. That is it for today, guys. Thank you for staying with me the whole time. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.